Welcome to KryptoGeneX.
The music may not be, but you should be able to hear me. All right, we're going to be doing late night crypto talk in a different platform, one time only tonight on our Zoom, only because Facebook has been having problems all day. A lot of people that I've known that has been attempting to do Facebook Lives have had problems. So we'll see if they're able to get this fixed anytime in the near future. As a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be dispensing financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share suggestions, and it is up to you guys to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to take. There's 4 rules I live by in this crypto space to have success. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Rule number 2, always, or actually never invest money that you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get your return on investment back as fast as possible. And rule number 4, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you willing to do to make it happen? Make a decision, stay focused, take action. Now, this is not going to guarantee you success, but it will at least minimize your risk. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the most that we can ask for. All right. Let's go ahead and get things started. What we have tonight, a couple of bars. You guys are for the first time seeing how I kind of do this. I've got tabs up on my computer. I have multiple computers that I just read these from. But we're gonna take a look at some news that happened today, and I have not been home to see if anything has happened since this morning. But the market seems to have been stabilized. Crypto market stabilizes after $25 billion surge. Can Bitcoin price breach 6,800? And I said this yesterday. I think if it breaches 6,800, it's going to run up to 7,000, and it might get to 7,200 and then stop. But if it doesn't come back down, I expect a correction. But if it doesn't come back down, it might run all the way up to 8,000. That puts us where we were a month ago. So either way, going in the green direction that's positive. So let's see here. Over the past 48 hours, the crypto market has increased by more than $25 billion, from $198 billion to $223 billion. Ripple and Ethereum have maintained momentum at a price range. Since September 20th, the crypto market has initiated a strong, you know what? Let me look at the market right now. Is Ripple still at number 2, or did Ethereum take them back over? Let's take a look. Yep, I said that would happen. Ethereum is back to number 2. So Ripple only held number 2 for what? About 12 hours? I knew that wasn't going to last very long. So now Ethereum's got another $2 billion lead over them. But, they had their time in the sun for half a day. You guys remember that? Somebody even told me, Randy, you're wrong. Ripple's going to take over Bitcoin. That might be true, but not anytime soon. Anyways, since September 20th, the crypto market has initiated a strong corrective rally resulted by extremely oversold conditions. But as many investors expected, the massive upward momentum of most major cryptocurrencies and small market cap assets have led the market to retrace. I didn't look at the trends. Let me go back. So here's another hint. When you see a splatter of green and red all mixed up, the market is kind of flat. But if you see a splatter like this and Tether is in the green, that means people are pulling their money out and they're putting it into Tether. So I expect it to be on a downtrend right now. How long? I don't know. We'll have to see over the next 12 hours by tomorrow morning how much of a change is going on, the 24-hour change. Negative 1% is Bitcoin, Ethereum negative 2.9%, Ripple's still up 5.7% over the last 24 hours. but they're still not going to overtake Ethereum again, at least for a while. Stellar, I'm not surprised. Remember the news that came out with IBM? IBM is using stellar lumens, so they're up 6.3%. So the entire continent, the country of Australia, is running with this. And we've got Litecoin negative, Tether, Cardano's in the positive. Not surprised by that. Dash, this is one to keep an eye on, only because it's the most popular coin in Venezuela. And they have a lot of movement going on. So this is definitely a coin I personally would hold. I'm not saying that's what you need to do. There is a sleeper that myself and a few people are researching. Mobile Link token. You might hear Rob Harris talking about this. Now it's worth 27 cents and it's had a 31% drop, which means, yeah, you want to buy. This is the time to buy a lot. So you see this date here. This was back in just yesterday. It was up 5.4 cents, and it's dropped. But this is a coin that I think is going to have some long-term movement of it, basically because of what they're trying to do. And just what they're trying to do is have this mobile service that allows you to have a one-time payment to get a SIM card that's going to give you unlimited talk, text, data worldwide with no monthly fee. I want you to think about that for a second. I used to represent a telecom company, two of them. One I was regional vice president of for telecom. But imagine when everybody gets wind, wait, you mean to tell me I can buy like $200 or $300 for one SIM card? And then my phone has unlimited talk, text, and I never have to make a monthly payment. And I get that same service anywhere I travel around the world because it's on the blockchain type stuff. What do you think is going to happen to the price? So I'm not saying you need to. What I am saying is you need to do research on this. I went ahead and bought 2,500 coins. I'm about to buy 25,000 more coins and then go from there. And then I'm just going to sit on it, because with the amount of, I want to look at some more data here. So they're talking about total supply, 9 billion that there's ever going to be. So this coin could get up to a couple of dollars per coin. And right now it's less than 3 cents. So $100, $500 is going to get you a long way. What if that $100 worth of coins at 2 cents jumps up to $1? You just made a killing off of that. So if at 2 cents, it ain't gonna hurt you. That's a coin that we're looking into. All right, so let's get back to this. But I'm telling you, do your own research. I don't want nobody saying, Brandon told me to buy this coin, I bought the coin, and I lost all my money. No. Do your own research. All right, since September 20th, the crypto market has initiated a strong corrective rally, resulted by extremely oversold conditions. But as many investors expected, the massive upward momentum of most major cryptocurrencies and small market cap assets have led the market to retrace. Stellar, Tezos, Walton Chain, and Status have recorded losses in the range of 6 to 8% after demonstrating an increase in value of around 20% in the last 24 hours. And again, this is how you look at it. Did they lose 6 to 8%? Or have they gained 12 to 14%? It's all how you look at it. Like the Bitcoin market. Oh, the Bitcoin lost 80%. Really? It's still almost $3,000 more than it was a year ago. All how you look at it. Billionaire legendary investor Mike Novogratz, who famously has more than 20% of his net worth in the crypto market, and because of that, he's going to become one of the world's richest men, has said that $6,800 is the major resistance level Bitcoin will have to break out. And that's in the next couple of days. So let me go ahead. I want to look at that again. So we're at 67.13 and it hit resistance. 67.13. So can it break 6,800? Currently, as of September 22nd, the price of Bitcoin remains just under the $6,700 mark. And that the volume of the dominant cryptocurrency, which has increased from 3.3 billion to 5.8 within a week, can be sustained over the next 48 hours, it will be highly likely for Bitcoin to surpass the $6,800 resistance level in the short term. Naturally, if Bitcoin surpasses the $6,800 mark, hold on, somebody unmuted themselves. Tony. All right, let me mute out Tony there. Naturally, if Bitcoin surpasses the $6,800 mark, it will lead the cryptocurrency into the $7,000 region, which could allow Bitcoin to test the $8,800 resistance level in the midterm. Novogratz emphasized that 6,800, 8,800, and 10,000 are major resistance levels Bitcoin will need to overcome. The short-term prediction of Novogratz echoes the viewpoint of Masayuki Tashiro, a prominent Japanese market analyst, who stated that the price of Bitcoin will likely surpass $9,000 by next month. Really? So you think it's going to get to 9K by next month? Okay. Already, as Tashiro explained in June, positive regulatory developments have been made in Japan and South Korea, which he stated that will push the price of cryptocurrencies to increase by large margins. Personally, I am bullish. And by the time the outline of the regulations will come together in October, those investors who will feel safer will come back. I hope things don't get as overheated as last year, but I believe BTC can win back the value of 1 million yen, which is the $9,020 range, said Yashiro. So where does the market go next? On September 22nd, the crypto market demonstrated a standard retracement after a major corrective rally, which is positive as if the market has continued to increase as the pace of this week. Then it could have led to a large drop in price. In the upcoming days, based on the volume and the momentum of the market alone, it is highly likely for the crypto market to potentially make its way to the $250 billion mark, which it has not seen since late July. As such, the small drop in the price of most tokens and small market cap cryptos in the past 12 hours can be considered as a positive price movement for another short-term rally. Now, let me give you that in layman's terms. This is what they mean. When the market adds billions of dollars to it, you're always going to have those micro traders out there. Now, you may say, micro traders, what's that? These are the day traders that they may trade 10 to 15 trades a day, and they may be averaging anywhere between 0.4% to 1.5 or 2% profit per trade. They're micro traders. They make money when the market goes up, and they make money when the market goes down. And when the market has a $5 billion increase to it, those micro traders they're selling. They're not holding long term, they're selling. So that's when they call it a market correction, because they're getting their profit. So the next 48 hours, we want to watch to see, as a sell happens, as it's happening right now, how low will it go before those same market traders start to bet on the upswing? And, when KGX launches, we're going to be having some live videos like this where we'll be sharing screen and actually showing the exchanges and doing live trades and showing you. We already have this in videos in our KGX video vault, but doing it live is so you can see the Bollinger bars and what that stuff looks like and how it works and how to tell certain trends. That's how I learned. So we'll be doing that for our paid members. All right, enough of that article. Let's go on to the next. Let's see here. We've got the Houston Rockets. What's up with the Houston Rockets? Houston Rockets Inc. sports sponsorship deal with Bitcoin mining pool Ant Pool. Popular NBA team, Houston Rockets, recently entered into a sponsorship agreement with Antpool, one of the largest Bitcoin mining pools. The deal sees the Bitmain-owned Antpool sponsoring the Rockets for the upcoming 2018-2019 NBA season. According to sports media, the deal followed Antpool's announcement of its newly built Texas-based U.S. office. Commenting on the agreement, John Corley, the Houston Rockets vice president, said, "The Rockets are always looking to stay ahead of the curve with technology both on and off the court. And Antpool's prowess with cryptocurrency makes for a great partnership." As part of the deal, Antpool plans to unveil an exhibition at the Toyota Center, home of the Rockets, in early 2019. The NBA team reportedly has a massive following in China, where Bitmain is based. And why? Because they had Yao Ming on their team. So China basically adopted Houston Rockets as their basketball team. So, let me keep reading it. This popularity is likely based on Yao Ming, China's most famous basketball player, plied his trade for the Rockets for 9 years. The move also signals a consolidation of Bitmain's expansion efforts in the United States. Recently, Bitcoin has reported that the mining giant planned to establish a mega cryptocurrency mining and data center in Rockdale, Texas. Okay, now here's the problem. Bitmain does contract type mining or group mining or hash mining. In the United States, that's illegal. They're doing pool mining. Why do they do it that way? Well, Bitcoin's been mined for 9 years now. It is almost impossible for one individual to set up a Bitcoin mining rig in their home and think that they're gonna, make some money with that. It is not economically feasible anymore. The cost far outweighs the reward. But if you group mine and you've got a company like Bitmain that has all these mining rigs all connected together and they're selling the hash rate, so the percentage of Bitcoin you get is based on your investment with them. That's how they do it. Problem in the United States, that's still considered the sale of a security, and that's illegal. What I still need to do more research on is that there's a North Carolina or South Carolina put a cease and desist order against Genesis Mining and Swiss Gold. I think it was the company that's attached to that, saying that you're selling the security. Genesis fought it, sent their lawyers down there, and they actually won the case. But that's Genesis Mining. Swiss Gold is still under a cease and desist in the United States. That's interesting, though. Anyways, so that's information for you when people want to know the difference from mining, because you hear us talking about we're mining GreenX. GreenX mining is not contract mining, is not group mining, is not hash mining, is not cloud mining. You own the rig. You own the asset. And whatever that asset produces is yours, not the company's, not KryptoGeneX. It is yours. That is legal. Okay. Speaking on the sponsorship agreement, Hai Jiao Li, the overseas operations manager at Antpool, said, "What better way to continue the momentum of our U.S. expansion than partnering with the prolific Houston Rockets basketball club, the #1 team in China, as the cryptocurrency industry around the globe continues to evolve and develop. It is going to be more and more important for companies like Antpool to lead the conversation and conversion of consumers to adopt and understand digital currencies." Bitcoin and basketball. The Rockets sponsorship deal with Antpool is the second piece of cryptocurrency news for the NBA team in as many weeks. Billionaire team owner Tillman Fertitta recently announced that his luxury car dealership would accept Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash payments. As the start of the year, Mark Cuban announced that his Dallas Mavericks basketball team would accept Bitcoin for ticket purchases in the upcoming season. At the time, the news signaled a change in Cuban's stance on Bitcoin after he called the popularity of the popular cryptocurrency a bubble in an interview last June. Yeah, he's changed his tune now. All right, let's go on to the next article here. Universities, 5 universities offering blockchain courses. And this is why KGX is in the lead. You want to learn about crypto? How many of you have time and money to go back to school? I certainly am not. Someone asked me that. Hey, Brandon, you going to go? Why am I going to do that? You know, most people, they're going to do this, probably to look for a job. If you've got children and you might still kind of be of the 9-to-5 job mentality, the biggest companies that's going to come the rest of this century are going to be blockchain-based companies. So now might be the time to learn a trade that has to deal with blockchain. So these universities are starting to teach it. So the rising demand for the blockchain technology is naturally signaling the need for a pool of blockchain talent all over the world. From blockchain cryptocurrency startups like Golem and Consensus to blockchain protocol creators like Counterparty and Ox, the world is thirsty for talented individuals who are interested in areas of tech, business, and blockchain marketing. The sudden demand for this relatively infantile technology, which is just less than a decade old, is facing a huge crunch of human capital who are interested and trained in this tech. The Google Trends charts and the number of job listings for blockchain cryptocurrencies also confirm what I am saying. Just to put in perspective the kind of demand we have in the market, here are a few facts. I'm not opening those up. Let's see. Angle.co claimed that job listings for blockchain cryptos are set to triple in 2017. That was last year. Google Trends shows an 8-fold increase in interest in blockchain courses worldwide. Blockchain talent pools are being built in India and Asia. And in tandem with these demand matrices, numerous courses are proliferating both online and offline to train this next-gen blockchain talent. To serve this demand, several universities have also started offering blockchain and crypto courses. And that's why CoinSutra has put together a list of universities from where you can get yourself trained in order to market your blockchain skills in front of a potential, see what I said there? Employers. I am not looking for a job. I am gaining this knowledge and information because I am an investor. I want to invest in blockchain companies, not work for them. But those of you who are looking to, you want to get a new career going, then you definitely, it's not a matter of thriving. It's a matter of survival that you know and understand blockchain technology for the rest of this century. So one, University of Nicosia in Cyprus, based out of the small Mideast country Cyprus, offers the world's first master's degree in digital currencies. Let's see the next one. Say the target audience for this course is business people, entrepreneurs, bankers, lawyers, accountants, auditors, social workers, NGOs, nonprofits, development experts, regulatory officials, policymakers, and computer scientists. The tuition. I'm glad they put this here. What is it going to cost you? £12,080. You ready for that? Just to get some crypto education. Princeton University. The course is brought to you by the New Jersey-based Princeton University via Coursera. It is a free course comprising of 11 weeks of online material, but it has no certification awarded at the end. The course covers things like how does Bitcoin work, what makes Bitcoin different, how secure are your Bitcoin, how anonymous are Bitcoin users, what determines the price of Bitcoin, can cryptocurrencies be regulated, what might the future hold. It has 12 lecture videos and 11 lecture slides that are also free. While this course was meant for Princeton students during the spring 2015, its information is still very much valid for today's crypto world. They've got a little introductory video. Then you got University Europea Madrid. All right. Offers a unique free course on Bitcoin and blockchain tech. called the Postgraduate Diploma in Bitcoin and Blockchain, and teaches its participants how to make Bitcoin-enabled applications. This course requires no prior knowledge of Bitcoin, but does recommend a basic knowledge of Python and Unix languages. All right, this is for all you nerds out there who understand computer language. To narrow down the vast subject of cryptos, they have only taken the case studies of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Then we got Duke University. Duke University offers a course called Blockchain and Innovation for its undergraduate students, which is free of cost. It is run by a select group of students, professionals, and professors. The class meets every Monday and aims to inspire students to explore this new technology. It organizes meetups, events, talks, seminars, where they discuss blockchain technology, cryptography, cryptocurrencies, and non-financial blockchain use cases. And then, not surprisingly, number 5 is UC Berkeley in California. So UC Berkeley runs a unit called Blockchain at Berkeley, which is a student-run organization. So it ain't even it's not even the school, it's the students. It is not a certification or a degree course, but it's an all-out endeavor to make the steep learning curve of the new tech a lot easier to bear. They organize workshops, seminars, screencasts, and events, and every Sunday there are meetups to discuss some of the cutting-edge white papers of the blockchain industry. They also have a stringent attendance policy, and they drop students who are not regular in their attendance. You know what? I know I'm not about to say that, 'cause I'm about to do a major purge coming up very soon within my own organization. And the reason why is I need people who are serious. We're not playing with this thing. We're not dipping our toes in it. We're talking about becoming multi-millionaires and billionaires. This is not the time to play. And we're building a multi-billion-dollar company. And I have a bunch of people who just want to sit around and wait and see what happens. That ain't rolling with me. So you're going to start to see a little bit change coming soon. But anyways, how many of you have time to go through, go take a college course? Well, we could just, let me pull up KryptoGeneX. I'm showing too much here. I want to show the crypto training. All right. Let's look at some of our topics. I'm just going to show you Bitcoin 101. So yeah, you want to go travel to these universities, these courses, pay $10,000. We've got Introduction to Bitcoin. What is blockchain? The birth of Satoshi Nakamoto. How do cryptocurrencies work? Type of wallet. Where to purchase Bitcoin. Coinbase tutorial. My Ether wallet. We're going to be updating this one. I know we can take that out. My Ether wallet tutorial. Cryptocurrency exchanges. Coins overview. All these lessons, all done from the comfort of your home on your own time, and the cost is only $300. So am I scared or worried about universities out there that's offering courses? Absolutely not. Not at all. All right, let me close that one out. Remember I talked about the MOLK coin that's doing with the cell phones? This is the next logical step. Electroneum is trying to do mining with their cell phone or cell phones. But the HTC Exodus blockchain phone comes into focus. You hear that? It's a blockchain phone. So, investors, as a suggestion, I'm not giving advice. What is the one device that everybody keeps on them 24/7 that keeps them connected to the internet and the rest of the world? It's their cell phone. Most people in Africa, for example, skipped having a home computer and went straight to cell phone. That's how they access the internet. But now blockchain phones are coming. That much is certain. The Cyrus Labs Finney and the HTC Exodus are both expected by the end of the year. And guess what? I'm getting one just because. It's a blockchain phone. Each with its own, sometimes vaguely defined sense of what they actually that term means, HCC's Phil Chen, who spearheaded Exodus development, has at least started to fill in the blanks of how the Exodus will pull off its most important trick, keeping your cryptocurrency safe. The Exodus has loftier ambitions than mere storage, of course. A few years down the road, we see a world where people own their own identities and data. Pay attention to this. Where everyone understands the concept and economics of digital property. I predict there's going to be courses titled that, The Economics of Digital Property. Now, Chen is the HCC's decentralized chief officer. For the moment, though, the primary concern for the Exodus's intended audience is how well it works as a hardware wallet. That had, until now, been a bit of a question mark. After all, a smartphone seems like an inopportune place to stash digital currency. Android phones, in particular, present inherent security risks, subject to a wide assortment of malware and other targeted threats. Smartphones also, as you may be personally and painfully aware, tend to get lost or stolen. That's true. At least more than this than as ideal for what aspires to be a digital bank vault. If I have a blockchain phone, I am not storing my coins on my phone, a phone that I'm traveling with. You might think, well, don't you want to keep it on you all the time? That's like saying, all right, am I going to be walking around, LA with $10,000 on me 24/7? Oh, that's just kind of stupid. So I'm going to see where they take this technology and idea, but I don't think it's a good idea that you are storing it. And also, that comes into legal ramifications. If you travel internationally, you can't have more than $10,000 cash on you at any given time. If you have a blockchain phone on you with $20,000 worth of coin on you, you're breaching that. And if customs stops you, they can confiscate and take your freaking phone. They've done it before with people, taking their computers and their Tezos and treasure and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of legal things about this, but I'm not knocking it because they are innovating right now. This is the beginning. It's like saying the internet, when we had AOL dial-up, that's all it was going to be. And if that was all it was going to be, the internet wasn't going to last very long. There's no Netflix. There's no YouTube. You're not going to be able to stream video on AOL dial-up. But that was the early stages. Somebody had to be first. So here, somebody has to be first. I'm more looking at where this technology is going to grow and what companies are doing it so I can invest in them. People that wanted to invest in Microsoft, in IBM, in Dell Computers, in Apple, the early stages, we didn't have access to that. But the biggest companies of the world are on the drawing table today that we do have access. Forget about IPOs. It's all about the ICOs of these companies that every single one of you has a chance to invest in the early stages. And because you do so, your great-great-grandkids are going to remember your name. Let me continue here. All right, those who prefer to keep their assets in so-called cold storage wallets, which remain entirely offline. That's true. If anything, cryptocurrency storage has trended toward that extreme, with some deep-pocketed enthusiasts opting for physical vaults with Faraday cage surrounds. That's true. I forgot the name of the company out there that is hoarding Bitcoin for all the billionaires out there. And they're paying a monthly fee for them to store their Bitcoins. By contrast, putting your cryptocurrency, more specifically the private keys required to access it, in an Android phone might seem the equivalent of stashing your money not under your mattress, but neatly on top of it, and then placing that mattress on a fairly busy street corner. I agree. Phones are very promiscuous. That's a weird word to use, in the sense that they transfer a lot of data, they can connect to a lot of networks. We install third-party apps on them. They can be made relatively secure, but they're not the safest thing to carry around a lot of money. No, especially if you have it on the network. I walk around with my phone on airplane mode just because the hackers out there. Let's see, they can be made, this guy says they can be made relatively secure, but they're not the safest way of carrying money. And if you're not carrying a lot of money, you don't need a special phone. See, for me, I would get one just because I'm in this space. I want to test it out. But then yet tens of millions of people already use software wallets, Chin says, tied to centralized exchanges like Coinbase. Okay, another piece of advice. I can't say that. Another suggestion. Do not store your coins on sites like Coinbase and use that as your storage. Store them where you own the private key. Coinbase is like an extension of an exchange. You must control your private key. Bread Wallet is a very good one where you own and control your private key. So even if you lose your phone, even if you lose the app, you can download the app on any other device and you've got your private key that'll bring back up all your coins. Exodus, for those of you that like having an Exodus on your desktop, is another one. I'm going to stop right there. I don't want to get into that topic right now. The HTC Exodus aims instead for something of a compromise. It isn't quite a cold storage, but at least it empowers users by allowing them to hold their own keys. Okay, that's interesting. It does so by placing them in a so-called trusted execution environment, a part of an ARM chip called Trust Zone. The secure enclave sits apart from the operating system, designed to inoculate precious cargo, even in the event of a broader breach. Think of it as a smartphone's panic room. I like that concept. The concept of a secure enclave isn't new. Intel has offered one for PCs for some time. The Apple uses one to protect the biometric data, your fingerprint and face, that it uses to unlock the iPhone. Even Trust Zone has been around for years, commonly used by studios and such to lock down DRM protected content. It's as good an answer as any right now and preferable to HTC attempting to build its own solution from the ground up. But Trust Zone isn't a security panacea. If somebody claims something is secure, a lot of people try to poke into it. That's true. Over the years, there have been several attacks on Trust Zone. That includes one from Seth Mudadvadavad, whatever, who along with co-authors Adrian Tang and Salvatore Stolfo published research last year detailing how not just break Trust Zone security, but alter the code that's running in the secure environment. See that right there? See, I'm going to stop right now. The only interest I have in a blockchain phone is not to store my Bitcoin. My interest in a blockchain phone is for the blockchain technology itself. Let's say, for example, I write books. I may not need to go to Amazon to sell my books. I could sell them on the blockchain through a device like my blockchain phone that I own and control, that is being recorded on the entire blockchain. See, that's the type of stuff I'm looking at. I'm looking at real world use. How secure is my data? You know, right now, everybody's got a smartphone, probably connected to Google. And do you know that smartphone, whether you think it is or not, it is tracking your entire movement, where you go, where you shop, how long you're in a certain area, how long you're in a certain neighborhood, what stores and shops are in that neighborhood, and then the phone companies sell that data. That's where they make all their money. Facebook does the same thing. You can even turn off location on your phone, but it is still tracking you everywhere. See, the blockchain is anonymous, and my data is my data. That's what interests me. And whatever company comes out with technology, that's what I'm going to invest in long term. Complete anonymity, but you control your stuff. You control your pictures. It's not being copied anymore. You're selling your stuff if you want to. People got to come through you to see it, not through a third-party copy. And, you know, why is this all important? I was today, I have a lot of relatives coming in town. My aunt passed away this week. And one of them, his name is Robert Smith. He He actually played in the NBA for the Denver Nuggets back in the day. And like, here's a picture right now. This is my grandmother, one of her sisters, two of her sisters, and their other sisters, the one that passed away. And we was talking, and he was like, I see you all the time on Facebook, and you're talking about crypto and Bitcoin and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah. And here's the reason why, because he brought a bunch of pictures, and he showed me this right here. See these two individuals? This is my great grandparents. I forgot their first name. The last name is Lewis. This is Mr. Lewis. They were born around the 1880s. This woman right here, my great-great-grandmother, her father was white and her mother was Indian. Mr. Lewis, it was one of the first generation removed from slavery. So I'm going way back, 1880s now. And why that's important, and this is their daughter, my great-grandmother, Medea. This is in Shreveport, Louisiana, this photo. The purpose of why I'm showing this is, how many of you know the name of your great or great-great-grandparents? And it's not a knock, because I don't know their first names. It's written back on the back of the, well, I actually have the pictures. Let me see. My mom wrote this down for me. Oh yeah, William Lewis and Susie Lewis. That's their names. But they didn't leave nothing for us. You think the Rockefellers know their family name? You think they know who their great-great-great-granddaddy is? Why? He left something for them, a legacy. Because of technology today, and this is both good and bad, and it actually shook me to my core, because I really sat down and meditated on this and thought about this. And it was after a conversation I was having with some of my college buddies, and we were reminiscing where our 20-year Morehouse homecoming is coming up since we graduated. And we were talking about the good old days and the things that we did, and we were like, man, I'm so glad there was no social media back in those days. Nobody had cell phones. Nobody had, we were still writing letters to our girlfriends, physical letters we put in the mail. There was none of this stuff. There was no Facebook, no Instagram, no Twitter. There might be videos out there of us, but they're on VH1 cassettes. So it's not like it's on YouTube. And we were like, man, if they had all that stuff back in our day, we'd be in trouble today. But then I got to thinking about that. Let's fast forward till today. Maybe the last 10 years. Everything we do is being recorded. Everything you say on social media is being recorded. All of your pictures, all of your notes, all of your videos, the dinner you had that you ate, the vacation you took. And when it's on the internet, it's there forever. So I want you to think about that for a second. And let's fast forward 60 years from now or 100 years from now, and your descendants, they're going to be able, because of blockchain technology, that's recording all of this, and it can't be changed. One of my grandmothers used to dance on tables in Chicago. I know the story because I was told the story. But what if there was video of her dancing on the tables in Chicago that I'm able to see now? I want you to think about this for a second. So whether you leave something for your family or not, your descendants are going to be able to look back in history and see you and say, wow, granddad was running his mouth against Bitcoin, talking about cash is king, and didn't get involved in the fourth industrial revolution. And that's why we're still broke today, 4 generations later. Wow. I see grandma made a post about Bitcoin when Bitcoin was worth only $6,300 a coin. Why are we still broke now, 60 years later? See, history throughout time has been written by the victors. That's why they call it his story. Because of the blockchain and the internet today, that is no longer the case. History cannot be rewritten. History is going to be shown in real time as it is. I want you to think about that for a second. It's going to be captured in real time. So I spent all afternoon looking at a bunch of pictures of all my aunts and uncles and great aunts and great uncles, and we have to interpret the story through the picture. The way the blockchain is now, we're going to be able to live their life. Your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren are going to be able to live your life. So for me personally, that put a little bit of responsibility on me. How do I want to be remembered? What is my legacy going to be towards my family in the future? I want to be that person in my family that my grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and great-grandchildren will remember my name, because they're going to be like, yeah, remember the gold rush? Granddad went out there and mined for gold, and that's why we're wealthy today. Only this time, great-great-granddad, Bitcoin Brandon, what they called him back then, from California, got in this Bitcoin thing at the very beginning. And that's why our family tree is where we are today. Think about all the audio recordings you guys may have done, Facebook Lives, YouTubes. That's still going to be there as long as there's electricity over the next 100, 200 years. They will be able to hear your voice. What I would be able to give to hear these two individuals' voice. My grandma, she's 94 years old. And this woman actually is the one who raised her. Susie raised her. And when she saw her picture, the smile on her face and the tear in her eye, because she remembers her, she remembers her voice, but she can't pass those memories on to me, her grandson, or my kids, her great-grandchildren. All we have is a picture. This technology changes all that. It changes history. It changes how history will be recorded. And it's going to change how you will be recorded. There's something else I'm going to do as soon as Facebook stops acting up. I made a prediction last year. Oh, and by the way, this woman here, Marnita, she's my cousin. The last time I saw her, well, I was told, because I don't remember, we were 3 years old. I was a little older. She was 3. She's 39 years old right now. We just connected because it was her grandmother that passed away. She had no idea where her family was. No connection in the last 20 years. Now, without blockchain or without internet stuff, we would have never found her. Anyways, you see this right here? I said this last year, and I got blasted. I did a famous Facebook Live where I called crypto industry versus the network marketing industry. And I made a claim. And I said that by the end of 2018, most, if not all, network marketing companies will be involved in Bitcoin, blockchain, one way or another. Mark my words. And why do I know this? Well, I used to be on a corporate side of multiple companies. At one point, we even attempted to start our own company. So I know what it takes to run a company on the back end. And for a company owner and executives, the biggest issue we have is dealing with merchant accounts, chargebacks, fraud, and the ability to pay commissions, not just in the United States, but around the world. That's the biggest issue, the biggest problem. Because somebody in Nigeria that makes 50 bucks, by the time we get the money to them, they only have $5. How do we get them commissions for people that don't have access to a bank account? They don't have access to an ATM machine, so you can't even give them the prepaid debit card. How do we get them money? What about fraud? We had one fraud base out of New York where we got attacked and chargebacks that shut our company down for a month. Now, the company didn't know it. I mean, the people, the field didn't know it, we had to pay commissions off of a loan. Because the moment you can't pay commissions, you don't have a company anymore. So while they froze our account and it was being investigated, that doesn't mean our business doesn't stop. We still had to pay commission. So if you're a company owner, the smartest thing you can do is start paying all your commissions in Bitcoin. That's the smartest thing you can do, because now you eliminate chargebacks and you eliminate fraud. And then the next best thing you can do is accept payments in Bitcoin. You pay your commissions in Bitcoin. Now people are getting paid instantly. I remember back in the day, one of the questions we would ask a company is, how fast can we get paid? Do we get paid every 2 weeks? Do we get paid every month? Well, I got paid on a Friday, but it doesn't hit my bank account for a week. How can we get people paid faster? Their companies even advertise, oh yeah, you want to join us because we pay out daily payouts. You guys remember those days? Bitcoin, instant. And guess what the cost of it is? Pennies. So if you are a company owner, you would be stupid not to be integrating blockchain and crypto. I said this last year, and I got blasted by it by industry leaders. See, when you reach the top, that circle is small, and we all know each other. And sometimes we talk to each other. We're not in the same company, but we talk to each other. And I got hit up by multiple people telling me to shut up. One guy said, hey, look, man, you want to get into crypto, that's all you know, but keep MLM out your mouth. I said, just because you said that, I'm going to be saying it a whole lot more. Because all you're trying to do is protect your check. And if people aren't making money in your space, they're going to come to crypto. The best thing you need to do is get yourself positioned and try to hold on to a dead horse. Don't be Blockbuster Video. Netflix is on the scene, partner. Oh, yeah, I go at it with them. And I can care less, and none of them intimidate me. And I'm talking about 7- and 8-figure earners. They told me, shut up. Keep it down. And I said, yeah, as you say this, your company is going to be paying y'all in crypto in the next 2 years. And look what I see today. Organo Gold enters the blockchain economy. Go figure. All those clowns that were running their mouth last year. And you think Organo Gold's going to be the only one? What happens when one company does something? All of the others want to be competitive. They're going to have to do the same thing. Now, it goes back to what Justice Stephen Breyer said, Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer said that perhaps one day employers will be paying all of their employees in crypto. So for everybody that says no to get involved in crypto right now, I tell them, it's going to happen anyway. You can choose to get involved now and profit from it, or you can sit on your ass and wait, and next thing you know, it's going to be dropped on your head. Do you think the people in Organo Gold have a say-so in this? No, Shane Moran's going to be like, hey, we in blockchain now. We're going to do all of our payments in Bitcoin and crypto, and we're going to accept or pay out commissions in Bitcoin. And I wouldn't be surprised if he says, yeah, we're coming out with the Organo coin. Watch. I will not be surprised. They're coming into the blockchain. Yeah, we got our Organo coin. And then you're going to have these same clowns that were running their mouth bashing crypto last year. They're going to be running their mouths in 2019 talking about the latest, newest thing. Our company has its own coin. Has your company got its own coin? Mark my words. It's going to happen. You guys are ahead of the curve right now. This is one domino, and it's a big domino that's going to start to drop. So all those others, Genex, ACN, Amway, Milaluka, TLC, all the travel companies, all the weight loss companies, they're all going to be doing it. And it doesn't matter what the so-called leaders who screaming cash is king, doesn't matter what they think. All right, so that's all I had to say. We're now coming at the top of the hour. You know what, since we do have a couple of minutes, and for the first time I'm actually doing this through a Zoom, let's chat. Who wants to chat with me? Anybody have any comments or questions or want to share anything? go ahead and unmute your line, state your name, and let's chat. Anybody have anything they'd like to say? You can unmute your line. Ain't nobody got nothing to say. Nobody has any comments. That's good or bad. Either I put you all to sleep or I did a good enough job where there's nothing else that needs to be said. All right, going once, going twice, and we're done. I did record this, so I'll get this recording out. Somebody's in the chat box. Patricia, you did a great job. Thank you, Patricia. Mark my words, all of your buddies and all the network marketing companies, they're going to be involved one way or another. And we see it. We're going to, again, when I saw this, I just died laughing. I was like, here we go. Ray, you came on late. Well, you can see the recording when I post it up later. So hopefully Facebook will be back on point tomorrow, and I'll be able to do my early morning crypto talk, and we'll be back on point. So everybody have a great evening. Enjoy your Saturday, and I will see you all tomorrow morning. God bless. Good night. Bye-bye.
KryptoGeneX.